My best advice, be crystal clear with what you're putting. Percentages, 222% growth this last year. Was able to grow client sales when I was a personal trainer. That's going to get them interested and they're going to be like, what does that mean here? Welcome back to New to Medical Device Sales. I am your host, Jacob McLaughlin, and today we are coming to you to answer some resume questions. We've been getting a lot of questions about, hey, Jacob, what do I have on my resume? What's supposed to help me stand out when I'm trying to break into medical device sales? The number one thing I'm always going to hear is it's my resume. The number one thing I can guarantee, it's not your resume. Many people will be like, I've been trying for 3 years or 3 months or 2 months and it's my resume and I just don't think I have the right stuff and I hired somebody to write it, but it didn't give me. Like that's honestly where this conversation is coming from. I've been on multiple calls just this week and they paid somebody who just writes resumes and then they're like, I've been trying for 3 months and it still hasn't got me an interview. And so that's what I wanted to share and go into a little more details and give you actionable steps that are actually going to help you. But why it's not the end all be all is many people are going to go put on their resume a bunch of stuff that a lot of times they don't even know the answer to. And what I mean by all of this is many people lie. Many people will put stuff on their resume that's not true. Why? Because they're trying to make themselves look better than they are. That's number one. Most people are hoping that their resume will get them and they'll have the best resume. They come from Harvard, they have hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and they're the equivalent of talking to a shoe. Many of you are all focused on your resume when it's actually, even if you got the resume to get past AI, you couldn't even get through an interview because you don't know how to talk. We've helped thousands of people break into medical device sales and have to understand many of them didn't get their resume to the regional manager until multiple rounds into the interview process because there's a process to do it to get out of this cycle of let me put my application in with 700 other people, which we had a girl beat out, 722 people at Stryker. Let me put my application in with all these other applications. And many times from the people we're hearing from, I don't have the clinical experience that they're looking for, aka the OR experience. I don't have the sales experience that they're looking for, the B2B President Club winner. If you're under the age of 25, you're going to be put in a whole nother little box here because of just emotional intelligence and where you're at. So what can we do to help you all with your resume in medical device sales? Number one, you have to have numbers and percentages. You have to show growth. Now, many people that we get on the calls with, they're like, but Jacob, I'm a nurse. How does this help me? Jacob, I've never been in sales. How am I supposed to show growth? Many of you have had relationships. Many of you have been able to sell yourself every single day. It's the same thing here. In your job, what are you doing that you can show growth? I actually saw my old resume the other day, and one of the most hilarious things I put on there was when I was working at a soccer academy and I was the strength and conditioning, I was able to show, and I put that I grew their email list by 225% in 3 months. What did that mean? I just understood how to get emails. I got more emails. I inserted it into our email campaign and I grew it by over 200%. With our nurses and people that come from a clinical background, how long are you seeing patients? Are you faster than the others? Like the average nurse sees 6, you see 8. You do 20% more production, right? Whatever it is. Or if the current like PTs and OTs and all the stuff is, hey, if the current patient who comes in usually spends this much time in rehab, but you get them done in this much time, be able to show those numbers, being able to monitor human beings. Have you been able to make stuff more efficient? Like in your jobs, what have you been doing that you can just throw numbers on and show growth? Because what you have to understand is you all think a regional manager or a salesperson is going to come in and look at it in depth and they're going to be like, wow, this line and then this line and wow, 6 lines. They don't. They look at it, they find 2 things on it, and then they're going to ask you about it and you need to be able to explain it. That's what people are really looking for. Going back to my whole conversation is everyone thinks it's their resume, but then what happens if you come in and you have an amazing resume and you are a shoe to talk to? Doesn't do you any good. We focus more here at New to Medical Device Sales and how we help so many people is focus on the relationships, building the people, and then again, having the resume that's going to be competitive, not solely relying. Because the amount of times I've gotten on a call with somebody who's like, I haven't even reached out to people because I've been trying for 3 weeks, 5 weeks, 9 weeks. And my easy answer is you could start doing it today, but you're just postponing it because you think it's going to be perfect. Well, I will just promise you guys won't have a perfect resume. I just talked to someone who paid thousands of dollars for a resume coach to tell them to, instead of using a circle bullet point, to use a star bullet point. That's not the reason you're not getting hired. All right. So focus on being able to show growth and percentages. So let's just play some things out here. So for example, if you're a waiter and you are like, hey, how do I grow that? Well, for example, when you came in, what was the average ticket size? Maybe you're able to upsell things better than other people. I know at some restaurants, they'll be like, hey, let's see who can sell the most desserts or who can sell this. Well, if you can come in and show that like, hey, you were able to sell 68% more on the dessert nights than anyone else, holy cremoli, that's a number and that shows growth. It shows that you also know how to sell. Now, again, you might be selling some cupcakes, but we all love some cupcakes, right? Just being able to bring those numbers in. So when you are going through this process, think about how you can grow it, whether in the growth of, hey, you did some sales in a way that most people aren't thinking about sales, but you'll be able to talk about and quantify or justify it is sales. Maybe it's not the B2B sales that they're thinking about, but it is sales. That's something to think about. Again, with a nurse, you guys sell to doctors, you sell to surgeons, you all sell to people every single day. Well, are your patients staying shorter? Do you have a higher satisfaction rate? Like, what is the thing that makes you different? Every time I tell a nurse that, they're like, got it. I can come up with some numbers. The other thing here is many people will come and they'll put like an opportunity and then they put 19 different things. No way, Jose. 2 to 4 max. Like 4 max. Like why I say that is because everyone wants to go into all this detail. I did this and this and this and this. And then like we've had people who are like showing me resumes that are 3.5 pages long. And I'm like, it's way too long. Right? Again, you have to understand you're coming to salespeople. Salespeople are not known for their attention to detail. And then even when you get to the regional managers and stuff, they're not going to be going through every single thing and be like, oh, that one thing is the reason we have to talk to this person. What normally happens through the interview process is they hear about somebody or they interviewed somebody and then they get told by other people that they're like a great person and then they see the resume and then it moves on. If you are wanting to have a resume for medical device sales, my best advice is be crystal clear with what you're put precise numbers and show growth on there, right? Percentages, 222%, 38% growth this last year. Like was able to grow client sales when I was a personal trainer, 38% in Q1 of 2023. All that's doing is that's going to get them interested and they're going to be like, what does that mean here? And then what's going to be able to happen is I'm going to be able to share about my experience and then be able to share about how that would be done in the job, do the job to get the job, right? So now they're going to be asking you, why is that relevant to what you're currently doing? Because many of you guys are just putting numbers or you're just putting things on a resume that you think they want to see. But what people want to see in medical device sales is growth, because that's what we're here for in medical device sales, growing quotas, and that you can do sales. It may not be the known sales that everyone's thinking about, but you have to get creative. This is the thing you have to understand. The last piece, I just want to put this, if there's any clinicals out there, many of them will go for a clinical specialist, right? If you're going for a clinical specialist and let's just say you're a nurse, you don't have to put as many numbers. You don't have to put as many sales. You can do more patient-facing things that would be actually more transferable when it's a clinical specialist, because most clinical specialists in medical device sales are not selling. They don't have quotas normally. So you don't have to worry about it as much. So that's the only caveat is if you are a clinical and you are going for like a clinical specialist, don't worry so much about showing growth and numbers. That's more for if you're going for a sales position, an associate sales rep, business development rep, territory manager. That's what you want to focus on, is having those numbers and the growth. Otherwise, stop telling everyone it's your resume, because many of you, what is happening right now is you're just putting it into these AI generated applications and then they're going to kick you out because you don't have what they're usually looking for. Caveat is, even if you got the interview, what do you do with the interview? So what I would just tell you is you need a resume that's really good, that's going to help you in this process, but it's not the end all be all, no matter what you all will hear. What happens if you're from Harvard and you have the best background and you're a salesperson with hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales or millions of dollars in sales, and they bring you up and you go, you're not moving on, no matter how good your resume is, right? So let's not focus on that. I can guarantee if you focus more on the relationship building and all of that stuff, and then having a strong resume, you're gonna do great. But stop focusing on that at your resume and stop using the excuse that the resume is the only reason you're not getting hired, because I can promise you it's not. Because if you were so good, you'd already be getting hired even without the resume, because I can tell you this, many times I got to a 3rd or a 4th round interview without even having to put my resume into an application process. After helping thousands of people break into medical device sales, we've received a lot of messages of asking for more personalized coaching and mentorship. Our average member breaks in 8.5 weeks at over $105,000. And if you're really interested and really motivated to break into medical device sales, you can click the link below or check out our website at newtomedicaldevicesales.com. See all the testimonial videos of people breaking in with Medtronic at over $170,000, at Abbott $175,000 as a full line rep. So if you're really excited and also motivated and wanting personalized coaching and mentorship, then go and click the link below, schedule a call, and we'll get you where you want to go. Enjoy the rest of the episode. I hope this is helpful. If you found this helpful, press that like and subscribe button. If you can share it with somebody, it would mean the absolute world. And if you are interested in breaking into medical device sales, our average person as of right now breaks in around 8.5 weeks at over $105,000, which we are very proud to say here. And we are more than happy to jump on a call to help you guys with that process. Just understand the one thing I always want you guys to know is we are not the program just being like, hey, we hope we break you into med device sales. We are the program here to get you hired at over 6 figures and help you progress in your career. Just like I make these videos for you all, I want you all to have all the success in the world. It does me no good to just give you this advice and then you guys go flop. I don't want that. I just want you all to have success. So hope this is helpful. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.